So back again with the collectibles. I'm almost ready to play with some of them. Just kidding. But no, seriously. So looks like yesterday Biden decided on what he's going to do about the student loans. So he's going to give people who are awarded federal Pell Grants $20,000 in student loan cancellation, and for everyone else, up to $10,000 in student loan cancellation. Uh, that's a good step, but that's way not enough. He actually promised more during the campaign in 2020. He said he would, forgive or cancel student loans for folks in public who went to public schools and universities, and for people who went to historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs. Far, so far from doing that, but he did something, and now a lot of people are collectively losing their shit, both on the left and right. I mean, of course, people on the left think he didn't do enough, but there's also liberals who are still, um, fiscally conservative who are complaining about it, and there's people on the right that's completely freaking out and losing their shit. Of course, no one lost their shit when they did the PPP loan cancellation not too long ago. That went without so much as a whimper. But now with the student loans, how dare they? And let's squash the myth that it's the upper middle class and the elite that will benefit from this. Rich people weren't taking out student loans when I was in college. They just weren't. Now, maybe some wealthy people would have taken out loans in graduate school or such, but they had the wherewithal to pay that off. For the most part, wealthy people were not taking out student loans. They weren't receiving federal aid at all. Like my wealthy friends in school um, didn't even think about federal aid or anything like that. It was their parents took care of it. Okay. And the other way they try to flex it, since they know that's patently false, is to say, well, they may not have started off rich, but they're now rich, claiming like, oh, these lawyers and doctors are now making $500,000 a year. First of all, there's a plethora of lawyers across the state. I mean, across the country. Most of them do not make $500,000 a year. And for the professionals who are making $500,000 a year, whether they're in the medical, the legal field, um, or something, or another professional um, career field, if they're making 500K or more a year, then they paid off their loans. So the argument just doesn't add up. Now there's there's many other factors to consider, but I don't want to go into that in this video because we could just be talking about this forever. Because there are good points that some conservatives have made. Like basically, we need to just change the system anyway, so it doesn't keep leading to this in the first place, and as well as some of the unfairness, which you have to acknowledge, to be honest. But people losing it, then like I said, there's people on the left, not the ones who think it's not gone far enough. We realize that as well. It's the folks who say, well, shit, although they may be socially liberal or whatever, they're like, well, I paid off my loans. So, oh, so you, I wish I didn't, because now I could have got it paid off for free too. Like, shut the fuck up. So you're gonna be mad at people who did not have the wherewithal to pay off their loans because you had the wherewithal to pay off yours. Mm. Some people really need to read some John Rawls, his theory of justice, or the more brief version of that argument that he makes in another book, which I've read, about being behind a blind veil and not knowing hypothetically where you would end up in life. If you looked at that perspective, you might be more able to empathize with folks. But topic for another day, I guess. But again, it looks like Sleepy Joe did something. It's not enough, but if it's pissing off a lot of people, I'm for it. So I'm just a contrarian.